Well, it's no secret that the world is full of arseholes, and today we're going to judge a few. A couple of potential arseholes. So am I the arsehole? I, 25 female, got into an argument with my boyfriend, who's 26 male, over a vibrator, and I'm not sure if I'm overreacting. I can already see where this is going to go. We've been together for 2 years and have generally a healthy sex life. Recently, I was reading discussions of a period tracking app about using vibrators during sex to improve stimulation and overall experience. Fairs. Sometimes after sex, I feel a kind of uncomfortable void sensation. And I read that extra stimulation might help with that. My boyfriend is aware of this feeling. I don't know what this means. So I decided to buy a vibrator to try together and told my boyfriend. He initially said it wasn't his thing, he wouldn't benefit from it, and that he preferred to do everything himself.
Nah, should be me.
But since neither of us have used it before, he agreed we could try it and see. The first time I enjoyed it a lot, but he said it threw him off and made him finish too quickly. The second time, it died mid-use and he said he couldn't concentrate with it, so I suggested we just stop using it altogether. Then he said something that bothered me. He claimed he'd used one before and that it made him go soft. This confused me because earlier he said he'd never used one. Yeah, I thought that. I could have sworn he'd literally just said that he'd never used one before. And when I pointed that out, he backtracked and said he made it up because he was embarrassed. I mean, I get that. But at the same time, you're already there. Dildo's already out. Just roll with it. This upset me because he's told small lies before, especially during arguments, and it made me question things. I'm pretty firm on honesty, and it felt like he was saying whatever helped his case in the moment. During the argument, he also said, if our sex life is great, why do you need a vibrator? I explained that this is great, but I thought it could enhance things and possibly help with the discomfort I sometimes feel after. He then shifted the argument, and I said I was lying about why I bought it. That I said it was for experimentation, not to address the void feeling. I don't know what this void feeling is.
I'm a virgin.
I tried to explain that both can be true. I wanted to experiment and it might also help with that issue. He eventually said, I'll apologise for lying, but you need to apologise for lying about why you bought it. She lied to make you feel better. That didn't sit right with me. It felt like he was trying to make things equal and downplay his lie, as if he is happy to change the narrative and emphasise on what benefits him, so he never comes out losing. I told him he was trying to manipulate the situation by throwing something else into the conversation, so I ended up apologising so that what he did seemed smaller. This happens a lot, so that's a red flag already. We aren't speaking right now as we need some space. However, I'm questioning our relationship based on the fact that he has shown me that he is happy to lie for his benefit and to shift conversations, so I end up apologising. Am I overreacting here? No. Not in the slightest. He's kind of just got this weird, I don't know, it's kind of almost like the alpha male, kind of, no, I should be the one to please you. You can't let this toy do it for me. The OP is not the arsehole. He, however, is the arsehole. And it raises so many more red flags than just toys in the bedroom. The lying's not even the worst part about it. It's actually like the making you apologise and making his fuck up seem smaller than your fuck up, even though you didn't fuck up. Yeah, no, you're not the arsehole. No. To this one. Am I the arsehole for filing a police report on my ex? So am I the arsehole for filing a police report on my ex? So I won't go to all the nitty gritty details. No, that's exactly what we came here for. Like, what do you mean? That's what we came for. Long story short, in early January, my ex, we were still a couple at the time, stopped sharing their location with me randomly one day. When I noticed and brought it to their attention, they acted like they didn't know how that happened. Then apparently on January 28th, they, for whatever reason, decided they needed to go get STD tests. They didn't inform me that they were being tested, not that they had to, but you would think that would be something you'd want to tell your partner. I mean, yeah. According to the screenshot they sent, they got their results back 3 days later on January 31st. They tested positive for What? Oh, no. Still didn't inform me. In fact, came over and spent about 5 hours at my house on February 10th, where we had oh, no. Wait, and they tested positive as well. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? The following morning is when they decided to tell me that they just found out they tested and asked me if I had... This was planned and this was calculated.
Plan? What plan?
Dumbfounded by this, I immediately went and picked them up and we went to the urgent care where I was tested and treated because of the exposure the night before. Good. I got my results back the following day and I tested negative. Thank fuck for that. Obviously because I'd just been exposed to the STD the night before. Now mind you, we hadn't had anything in several weeks because they said they were having issues down there and they thought it might have had something to do with their IUD. Obviously in hindsight, I know what the reason was now, of course, absolutely. All that being said, in the state we live in, it is a Class D felony to knowingly expose or transmit an STD, including They made a post on a separate sub that was a totally false narrative and everybody only focused on our age difference. This is a big age gap. Okay. I made my own post clarifying the relationship and the narrative, as well as filing a police report against them. The report has been approved and it's under investigation. I do feel bad in the sense that they're young and they might have a felony on their record for the rest of their life now. Who cares? Don't feel bad for that. Like, what the fuck? Who cares? That's their own fault. They made their bed and whoever else's bed and lay in it. But I have several autoimmune diseases, and this infection, had I gotten it, could cause me extreme harm, if not death. Am I the arsehole for filing the police report and not just forgetting about it since I never... What do you mean forgetting about it? You had a gonorrhea scare. What do you mean? You can't just forget about that. No. If you decided to just forget about it and just continue what was going on, idiot. Like, complete idiot. You're not just forgetting about the infection scare. You're forgetting that they cheated. You're forgetting that they lied to you about it. And you're forgetting that they gaslight you into kind of you were the reason that they've got it. That's a lot of things to try and forget. Like, that's no. Also, there is an age gap. So it's I'm guessing you're the older one. She's younger. So she's just going about kind of going, do you know what? I'm just going to go wild. But I've got this safety net at home. And if anything happens, I'll just blame it on them. What do you mean? They are the arsehole. They are vile. Disgusting. Bin them and burn your bedding. Right, next. So, would I be the arsehole if I, female 22, chose to break up with my boyfriend, male 22, for cheating on me last July? So, I, 22 female, have a daughter with my boyfriend. Been together since we were 16. My family doesn't really support a relationship because he hasn't ever really had a job and all he does is play games and smoke cigarettes. I personally don't mind it so much because he'd still take care of the baby and was loyal to me. There was a time where a girl that he'd play the game with 24/7 that lived in the UK would tell me hi and let her talk to our daughter as well. They were sending each other sexual reels that said stuff like they want to fuck each other and when you put it in the wrong hole. And he wanted me to forgive him for that, so I did. He said it meant nothing and that's why all these messages were still there, but he still wanted to play with her though. So he told her the next time they played that they have to keep it professional, and she said, why? Did you get in trouble? And he said, yeah, which made me mad, but why? I got it written, that was in March 2025. July 27th, 2025, 2 days after a 5-year anniversary, goes to his friend's house, a friend he had just made a month ago. Came back 4 to 5 hours later, dressed in his friend's clothes and his friend's fake jewellery, and says he's going to a party with his friend and will try to be back tonight, but his friend said he might be too tired to drop him back, so he might spend the night. Grabbed his wallet and I told him to put on his belt because it would go good with his outfit. Cool, yeah, you're just going out with a friend. Cool, whatever. Absolutely nothing to think about. He leaves with his friend and about an hour goes by and I see a notification on my Cash App, because he can't make one, that he sent his friend $130, which $80 of that money was mine. Okay. That was saving to buy us a fridge off Marketplace because we just moved and basically had nothing, we've been living off ramen noodles. So I check his location, he's in Burn, Texas, and I search it up and you got to pass it to go to Fredericksburg, so I know he's going to meet up with this guy he's been talking to. And I've been begging him not to. He wasn't answering his phone calls and turned off his location, so I went crying to my mother-in-law. She told me to post some pictures of myself, and I did.
What?
What do you mean, post some pictures of yourself? Post pictures of yourself where? Just oh my God, my boyfriend's going to cheat, so...
Selfie.
And he posted some back, and send him some pictures of... But even that's weird. It's I go to my mom, my partner is cheating on me. They're with this person. Send him some pictures of yourself. That's not a mom choice. That's that stupid friend that you've got to be how am I going to win it back? How am I going to do this?
Send her a picture of your penis.
That's so stupid. The money he sent his friend was for hotel and drinks, and they had sex, front and back, condom and no condom, and he lied to me about the condom part and gave me commitment. He stopped giving people things. I've only ever had sex with him. I don't feel pretty anymore. I don't trust him anymore. I wake up and he's playing his game in the other room or in the restroom, and I always feel like he's cheating. Is it too late to break up with him over how I'm still feeling over it? And every time I try to break up with him, he blocks the exit, says I can't go anywhere with my daughter, and says I'll call the cops, and then he takes my phone away. I've been hit and put in chokehold to de-escalate. That's not de-escalating the situation. That's just going from 0 to 100. Not so much recently because I've learned to have duck feathers and walk on eggshells, but I know I can't. What you do is you take that kid, you go be I'm just going to my mum's. Cool. And then you leave the kid there, and then you have some people come with you to go and get your stuff, and then you leave him there. Just leave him there. You're not the asshole. But I feel like you need to kind of do something about this, because that's who. Since when does being hit and put in a chokehold de-escalate any situation? If anything, from the I want to leave and then getting choked out, that's that's escalating the situation. That is, 1, phone the police. 2, take the kid to your parents. Just go, no, I'm just gonna go see my mom for a bit, or dad, or whoever, and then phone the police, get them there, and then when he gets arrested, then go back with someone and take all your stuff. That's the only option here. That's the only option that you've got right now. So on to the next one, with one fresh haircut and costume change later. Am I the arsehole? My wife, 31 female, upset I got an erection during a couple's massage.
Oh, boner nut now.
Yesterday was my wife's birthday. I decided to book us a couple's massage for the day as a gift and for us to both relax together. That's fair. That's a good idea. We went into this really high-end spot and you get into robes, you go into a relaxing room. While you wait to be called, it was really very peaceful and romantic. While we flipped her face up in the second half of the massage, I got an erection towards the end when she was working on my leg. It was embarrassing, but I know massage therapists know it can happen. When the massage ended and we stood up to grab our robes, my wife noticed my erection. I have to admit, it was a particularly hard and throbbing one. Don't describe it as that. The therapist was getting really high up my inner thighs, and there's a lot of blood flowing. She immediately made a sarcastic, "Oh, seems someone's enjoyed the young hot masseuse rubbing them." The therapist was particularly attractive, which I knew might be a problem since my wife can tend to be jealous at times. Did you get to choose the therapist? And did you choose that one? She was really quiet the whole ride home and was visibly mad at dinner as well. Even today, she won't seem to let it go, saying it's not normal to be that erect during a massage, and saying I was turned on because of her looks, etc. Am I the asshole? I feel like there's nuance to this, because I mean, sometimes you get a slight breeze and it's just jizz in my pants. But describing it as a particularly hard and throbbing one is actually kind of wild. I hope you didn't tell her that, because that wouldn't help your situation. If you chose that particular therapist and was like, that one's really attractive, and I know my wife tends to get jealous, if you pick that one, then yes, you're the arsehole, because you've just put yourself into a situation that you knew these things could happen and you chose to have the attractive masseuse. Then yeah, then that you're the arsehole. But if it's like you just get given one, like if you were able to go, okay, well if you knew that like she gets quite jealous, like kind of another woman touching you up, okay, it's a massage, like it's nothing to think, but still another woman touching you up, maybe you could choose a bloke to do it, or just don't get the couples massage. If it's like a thing that's gonna like really stress each other out. You're not the asshole if you couldn't pick who your masseuse was, you didn't know who it was until you got in there, because you can't control what time and when and the situation is to when you stand at full mast. You can't control that. And you're also not the arsehole if you actually kind of like consoled and I kind of made it feel a little bit better about the whole thing, and I kind of tried to explain it, because there's nothing you could do about that. But you are the arsehole, however, if you were able to choose the masseuse and you didn't think, oh, do you know what, I want a woman doing it, then yeah, that's on you. That is your problem. You are the arsehole there. But for overall, it all depends down on the context, because this one's it's like a no, but it does read as if like that's what you wanted to happen. So kind of, it's a soft. You're the arsehole. Right, next. Am I the arsehole for pursuing egg donation against my boyfriend's request? My boyfriend, 19 male, and I, 18 female, have been dating for 2 years. At the moment, both of our families are struggling financially. Although my parents earn what is typically a comfortable salary, they were not prepared to pay my substantial college tuition. They were graciously making ends meet to do so. Additionally, my brother has been dealing with addiction issues, which has been a huge source of conflict and financial burden for my parents. Stress is terrible for them as they both have severe history with cancer. This all goes to say that I feel deeply guilty for being a burden on my parents and would do anything to alleviate their financial stress. To make matters worse, my boyfriend's family earns much less than mine, to the point where he cannot afford to pay for the remainder of his education. I'm incredibly anxious about these circumstances. Oh, that would be rough. Not knowing if you can finish college because you can't pay for it, that is heavy. For context, I attend Harvard University. That's well expensive. It's just one of the like university that's known all around the world. Of course, that's going to be mega expensive. I wonder how much the tuition. Looking for an opportunity to make quick money, I heard online about a fertility clinic that offers significant compensation to egg donors with Ivy backgrounds. Elitist and weird, I know. Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of weird. To be fair, it's like kind of, you might have someone that's like, when people are picking donors, they do pick based off like kind of what their jobs are and what they do for work, obviously. Same thing. How educated they are, if they're good at maths, do they play the guitar, and like, you can have a child and not have any of the characteristics that you've got. So I've never understood that. I mean, if you go, I really want blonde hair, I really want a brunette. I want gingers. We need to make more gingers. We're dying out. We're a dying breed. Make more gingers. I saw on their website that one woman made well over $200,000. Jesus. After multiple rounds of donation. When I brought this idea up to my boyfriend, he vehemently rejected it, claiming that the prospects of a child existing between my DNA and that of another man made him uncomfortable. I told him that the money could benefit both of us and that I could pursue donation completely anonymously, but he insisted that his position on this issue would never change. I disliked his attitude during the discussion and found it blind to our financial circumstances. I also believe that his immediate absolutely not was infringing on my bodily autonomy. I can see how this choice may psychologically affect him, but they are not his eggs. I mean, does it work? Kind of like, I mean, I don't really know much about like donating eggs and like donating like, I don't know, like some splooge. Is it kind of like, you know, like adoption where like kind of they can find out who the parents are? Also, it's not his body. He can't decide. It's not his choice. So do whatever you want. Fling your eggs anywhere you want to go. But like, does it work like that where you can, so say you send them off and then 10 years later, there's like some kid goes, oh, I found out like I am one of your eggs. And like, does it work like that? Or is it like kind of, you can be like, I want absolutely nothing to do with this? Because surely people kind of want to find that thing out. They might do, they might not. I'm not sure, but I just wondered if that's how it works. This portion of the story is slightly regrettable on my part. Communication is incredibly important in our relationship, but I was really curious about how much money I could practically make through this process. So I consulted the clinic, simply just to find out more about compensation. No official agreement, of course. Yeah, fair enough. Due to genetic markers and my academic standing, I was told I could make over $80,000 on my first round of donation. Jeez, you must be well demand. Compensation increases exponentially every round. Since previous successes prove that the eggs are retrievable, this could realistically mean $500,000 after multiple rounds. Do it. If there's no, like, if there's a thing where it's like you do it too many times, then you absolutely like you just fuck yourself over. Like all of a sudden, it's like now I can't do it myself. I'd be like, try like in moderation. Do you know what I mean? Like kind of do it, like do whatever you want, but like kind of just know if that's one of the risks. You're gonna end up paying for that. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're doing it all for like $500,000, which I mean is a lot of money, but at the same time, if it turn out that you're not able to have your own children, then it's kind of stupid, really. Like all of the universities, all the education in the world, it's not worth it, really, is it? Like have as much money as you want, it's not worth it. I know you can adopt and stuff like that, and like kind of, but then you'd end up having to like use someone else's eggs to do your, and then you're just kind of you end up in a cycle. But like if there's like medical complications, I'd be like, that seems like a silly idea, but you do you. But the fact that like you can get $500,000 is actually wild. I tried bringing the money up to my boyfriend again, but he won't budge and he's incredibly angry that I won't drop this issue. Is this his place? Should I pursue this process? And am I the arsehole? I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's your body, you do whatever you want. It's ultimately it's your choice. People can give you their opinions, whether you want them or not, or whether you take them or not, it's entirely up to you. But like, I feel like this is your thing. If you want to do it, you go and do it. I wouldn't say you're the arsehole for, well, you haven't really done anything yet, so you can't be the arsehole. What you've done is gone, oh, there's this thing. What do you think? So that's all you've done. You haven't actually done anything yet. I mean, he's a little bit, he's kind of like pushing the arsehole side because he's kind of like dictating what you can and can't do. Because at the end of the day, it's not his choice. He can't make that thing. I feel like he can have some input, although the decision's not his. He can give his opinion. Like his opinion can be valid. Do you know what I mean? Like he can have a valid opinion, but I feel like it's not his choice, so he can't say anything anyway. If there's like medical complications or stuff that can come from this, like I feel like there probably is somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like kind of, but if him going, absolutely not, someone else is going to have your baby, like, no, they're not. I mean, they're not really, because like you're just putting it into someone else, and like kind of, isn't that how it works? Like you take the egg and you put it into someone else, and then they have like their own pregnancy and stuff like that. Is that how that works? I'm not entirely sure, because I feel like even though we say test tube babies, I don't think they're actually born with a test tube. I don't think that's real. I mean, but like if he was like, I don't know, it could really reduce the chances of us having children, I'd be like, do you know what? He's got a valid point, because I feel like that's a fair point. But him going, someone else is going to have your baby. But because, I mean, to be fair, if this guy's going to keep acting like that, someone else is going to have her baby, because he won't be allowed to do it. He'll have been binned. And then she can go, do you know what? I'm not paying for your tuition. Fuck yeah. See you later. We've broken up. I'm not paying for your tuition. Someone else having my babies now. So, but yeah, no. Not the arsehole. Not the arsehole. And unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. But if you do like these videos and you enjoy watching it, you liked my takes, or you didn't like my takes and you want to have a debate with me down in the comments, like, you do whatever you fancy like doing. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Educate me. Do you know what I mean? I don't know everything. I'm not an all-seeing thing, but yeah, no, just tell me what you think. And if you had any other interesting takes on these videos that you thought, maybe, do you know what, you might want to hear this. But yeah, no, if you did like this video and you want me to make any more, hit the little subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.